Good morning, hello, happy Monday. I hope that you're all having a great day. I hope that you had a great weekend. I am looking forward to continuing on with finishing up this the first page worth of components. Sitsu, hello. How are you doing today? So we are working on this currently. It's going to be the contact banner. So it's going to be another hero slash banner, and it's going to I guess like we're gonna have a title, we're gonna have a text, and then some kind of call to action, which is fairly similar to the other ones. But I think I don't know if we're gonna have to like customize too much the current hero that we have, or if we have to create a new one. We'll find out. You had a productive weekend working on some Rust, but you're back to the dreaded WordPress. Yeah, the weekdays, the weekday work. I know exactly what that's like. I've been there. I've been there. Rust Father, I need nourishment. I will try to help. But really we must all work in the mines of Rust to gather our Rust particles. I don't know, iron bits and then rust them ourselves. I don't know. I think the metaphor breaks down really quickly there. Anyways, hello Banty. How are you doing today? Um, let's uh let's get going with a brand new hero in here. So we have the heroes here. So we're gonna add a new section down below the community banner. So this is gonna be called a contact banner. Let's go ahead and get that going. So where do I want to go? I want to go to prototypes, pages, heroes. That's where. I have to use the little sidebar when I don't even know where I'm going. When I'm like, what am I doing again? Buys me some time to think. Okay, so we have community banner is the next thing here. So if I put you in level 2, oh, contact banner. That's what it is. Contact banner. It'll save you. I've already got the server running. You wish there was a Rust UI testing framework. Um, yeah, that would be pretty nice, wouldn't it? I kind of wonder if servo, like something with servo when that comes out, or maybe somebody will make something with Tori. But the problem really is that a good front end framework now has to compete with two high quality good testing frameworks. We have um, we have Cypress, which has been around for a long time now, and Cypress is probably the thing to beat right now. But then we have the up and coming what is it called? It's Playwright. Playwright is also like potentially going to beat Cypress. It's coming up. It's got a lot of really good features. It works with CI really well. By default, like it has a lot of defaults that are just like that's really nice to have. Um, I'll probably end up using Playwright for the main app when we get to it, and I don't know, I like it a lot. Doubtful Bannister, hello. Also, no, that is a hard no. WebDriver IO, Cypress, and Playwright are on top. Selenium seems to be legacy only. I agree with that. I hated Selenium. I did not want to use that. WebDriver IO, I never used WebDriver IO. I went straight to Cypress. I went from Selenium to Cypress. And the jump from Selenium to Cypress was amazing. The jump from Cypress to Playwright is not quite so big. But it is nice in different ways. But I haven't really used it enough to like make a full opinion on Playwright yet. So I am I want to use it for a project and like really find out. I'm probably going to create like maybe tutorials on Cypress and Playwright once I have the LMS, because like those would be like mini classes, because I think knowing one of those is really important. And maybe somebody will create one in Rust, and then we'll teach that one too. All right, so we've got you, which means that down here there's our contact banner. That's great. You never really enjoyed yourself with Selenium. Who did? Was there anybody who enjoyed themselves with Selenium? I guess like it was Java based, so like maybe if you were a pure Java developer, that might have been really good for you. It was always a struggle to set everything up every time. Yeah, yeah. That was the big thing that I realized. It was tough to program. It was tough to set up. It was, and it didn't really update ever. A lot of these technologies could probably, like, I've noticed that this happens over time. You get really big, you get really awesome, then everybody wants everything under the sun in it. So you get bulky and you spread out and you lose the original vision of what it is, and it becomes not enough for pretty much everybody, because like it just can't solve everybody's problems, so it doesn't solve anybody's problems eventually, and then somebody else swoops in and says, "Hey, I'm the new hotness, and I don't I don't have the age of the other one and all the cruft that was added on." So a lot of people jump over. Okay, next up, let's start with the BB hero, which means that I can probably just copy you too. So we'll do you. Okay, so text. What is this gonna be? They told us to use Cypress. Yeah, I prefer Cypress. I tell my team to use Cypress right now. Get in touch. That's what this is gonna be. Props to the guy who created it in 1997. What is it that old? Oh wow! They need to make it more straightforward in modern times. I think like um we have to give Selenium like props, like major props, right? Because without Selenium, I don't know if we would have had Cypress or Playwright or WebDriver or anything else that comes along that's even better, because I don't know, like that. It's like jQuery. It's like nobody saw the web for what it was until somebody started using these new tools, and it's like, oh wow, you can do that. Okay, I want to make something better, and that's how the march of progress happens. This guy is getting up every day 1 hour early to work on his own project and then go to work for the man. Where do you get the energy to do all this? So, fun fact, I realized that I don't have the energy to do that if I wake up, if I try to do it after work. So, that's why I do this before work. This comes from a book called Deep Work, which I never read, but I talked to people who did read it, and they sort of like gave me like a quick rundown. And one of the things is find out when you have the most energy and schedule your personal growth, your personal project time during that time. So for me, I did notice that I was like the strongest mentally in the morning. And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm waking up an hour early, and that's what I'm going to do. And the second thing is, I noticed that I don't really get work done if I don't stream, which is really kind of funny because I get distracted on stream, but I do way more on stream here with you than I do on my own. I'm just so much slower, mostly because I just distract myself, and things don't happen quite as much. I still distract myself. I just distract myself in less ways for longer. Okay, so it became a real tool in 2004. Nice. You heard that from a talk at ThoughtWorks. Yeah, it's been around for a while. Like the Deep Work book, I think is a good one. I want to read it sometime. I've just been really busy, so I haven't been reading too many books lately. Okay. Oh, wait. No, text is the lorem ipsum. So get in touch. So okay, this one is gonna be this one is gonna be uh contact us to learn um if our style of online education is right for you. We can also put you in contact with uh, we can also put you in contact with people who have been like going through the course, I guess. People like course alums. I guess maybe, especially at the beginning, before people actually complete it, probably shouldn't put that on there. Okay. You are really upset that this is like code inside of Rust that's just text. Like it doesn't like this at all. I wonder if like I need to use the square brackets to make it a little bit better. What kind of IT books can you or others here on the stream recommend to read? Is um is it our style or our method? Ooh. It might be method. Yeah, let's try method. I am not the best copywriter, so that if you all have suggestions, I am happy to put them in. Okay, so Banzi, your IT book rule of thumb is if the color looks silly or childish, it's probably a good book with a lot of insider knowledge. Um, Props to O'Reilly with all their animal books. O'Reilly is a good section, but let's drill down a little bit. What do you mean by IT books? Like because that's a huge field that ranges from DevOps, systems administration, networks administration, um, uh, security administration, database administration, programming, testing, QA. There's so much in there. Let's narrow it down a little bit. Is there anything specific in IT that you're interested in? Okay, so we have title. Okay, so this is going to be contact, get in touch. Okay, so you're interested in coding. Okay, so any specific languages that you're interested in, or just coding in general? Okay. All right. So we have a main here. What does this look like so far? I've added. Okay, so I have this over here. Oh, but we have a main right here. So I don't want the left-hand side. Okay, coding in general. So coding in general, any good books on that? I'm trying to think because there's so I've read pieces of it, but I never finished it. Like a lot of these books, a lot of the general program books, I've never really finished. Um, looking at my list down here, I've got I guess so. Code Complete is this like huge book, um, and it is it's got some like good stuff in it that I've like sort of drilled out of it, but it's like a generic book on programming. Uh, Beyond that, like most of them would be like language specific books that usually have some kind of like nice things inside of it that you can take out for the rest of programming. Um, yeah, so I don't really have any like better suggestions than that, and that's not really like the best suggestion already. Oh, you know what? I do have one. Never mind. I don't have it here. Pragmatic Programmer, and Pragmatic Thinking and Learning. Those two books are amazing. So let me write it in. Prag, the Pragmatic Programmer, and Pragmatic Thinking and Learning. Those two books, they're made by the same authors or the same. It's not the same authors, but the same production company, like the Pragmatic Programmer, the Pragmatic something. Anyways, those are amazing. Get the latest versions of each of them. The Pragmatic Programmer just have a lot of just good suggestions in there. That's where it introduced to me the idea of the broken window theory for programming. So, clean. I don't know about clean code and clean architecture anymore. Maybe not the full book. Maybe a summary of the book. It's a lot of things I don't know if I fully agree with anymore. But I do like the theories and the concepts of it. I just find it's really boring now. Like when I tried to reread it not too long ago, like a couple years ago, and I was like, oh god, I don't want to anymore. So it's that's like, to me that's an optional book. But knowing in general what it is probably good. Okay, so we have main. Okay, so if I don't have media section, okay, so we have this main section here. Now what I want is, oh, especially if you didn't have a good teacher. That is true. Okay, so that I want just a contact Brooks button here. I think that I can get away with an inline. Did I not save you? I probably didn't save you after I deleted that. Okay, so if I do main, I think this might be short enough for me to do this right here. So I want a button. Actually have a button here. So UV button. I want to throw into it. This is contact Brooks. I probably want a button type because I think by default it's a link. Let's find out. Oh yeah, I want a button type. Come on, press the right buttons. Button type. Uh, Button type. Um, you had a teacher that told you that commenting every line was optimal. Was that in college? Was that like a university professor? I've seen that before. I had a yeah, that was those are not great. Uncle Bob says that code should document itself. Yeah, you notice that I don't really use very many comments. That is one thing that I do take from it. It's like I try not to use too many comments, and when I do, I try to make it for, because like I couldn't figure out a good way to make it self-documenting, so therefore I add documentation. And the documentation, or that's the documentation for Rust docs. Like I want somebody outside the code be able to look into it and see what it's doing. Uh, and the tests can be documentation too. College professor, yeah, that's where I've seen that the most. Oh no, you have no. See, I would never reject somebody for that. To me, that's just somebody who has yet to learn. Like they don't know that. I would never reject somebody from a job because they comment all the line or because like they do something like that. As long as like maybe I would bring it up and it's like, oh hey, like what are your thoughts, and maybe just like see if they would potentially be opening to changing their mind or if they get really defensive about it. And if they're potentially open to change their mind, that is fine. That is fine. Like uh we want people who can like open their minds about something. Okay, I did not add the ability to split right in let's see, what was it? It was I need to yeah, V split, and then I want to go over here. Okay, where am I going? I'm going to the button. I want to see, okay, so we have button type here. I want to know what kind of button types we have. Primary light. Okay, we'll choose that one. And then, okay, primary light. That will turn this into a real button like that. And then I want this in a center here. Imagine how goofy you look saying that you didn't have the time to comment every line. Uh, I don't have the time to comment every line. Somebody's like, why would you? I don't have the time to comment at all. I just write more code and delete a lot of code. That would be sort of like a teacher telling you writing more code or lines per day is much better than removing code. But I could see a professor doing that. Okay, now I want to center this. So to center this, so we have the hero. Okay, I want to actually take a look. Oh, you know what? I probably need like a container inside of here. So I want a BB container. I don't think I can do an aligned well, actually I could do aligned text. We can do classes equals, I'm going to do a align text center class. Like that. Save you, and then yeah, you're magically centered now. Okay, so this would be this banner. So we have our title, we have a little bit of text, and we have a call to action at the bottom, specifically for this contact banner, which is similar to that. Okay, I like it. Let's commit. So we'll do. I didn't even need to change a component at all. We just used the components as we had them, which is where you want to get to in a component library. Okay, so this is created a prototype for contact banner. Next up, did I make any? I should. Okay, good. Why am I using minus a dash a? Oh, yeah. Sorry. I know what you're talking about. Why am I using this git commit? I didn't want to use this one, dash am, dash am. So the dash lowercase a with an M together will automatically add all changed, all modified files. Uh, so basically, you can see here that I noticed that this is just modified. There's no new files. And so I can just do a git commit -am, and that adds them and commits them at the same exact time. Otherwise, I might have to do like git commit capital A or git to commit dot first, and then do the message. So that's what that is. It's just a single liner that allows you to get away with both at the same time. You'll notice also that I have the habit, and this is something I recommend to everybody, is just always do a git status just to verify what you're really committing, because sometimes we forget to put something into the dot git ignore, and doing this as a habit will catch like, ooh, probably shouldn't put that .env file into a commit, because once it's in there, it's a little bit tedious and very dangerous to, it's just bad. It's just bad. All right, let's get back into here. Let's take a look at our next thing, which is the site footer. You have committed credentials before. We all have committed credentials before. The question is, which of us have figured out systems to at least slow down the amount of credentials that we put in? Git is checking that sometimes. I don't trust Git to check that. I don't. Yeah, they're GitHub is checking that. GitHub is checking that. But here's the problem: GitHub checks it after you push, meaning that it's far too late. Like the second, what they find out, it's way too late, and you need to rotate those security keys, which could be very like that's not what you want to do. You don't want to spend time doing that. Okay, so a site footer. So to begin with, this looks like a header, but I don't want it to be a header. I think I actually created a footer. Sorry, I think I created a footer in here already. Let's find out what I have in modules. Okay, yeah, we have a site footer here. If we take a look at it, it takes no props. Oh, cool. Okay, so it's just exactly as it is. So I could just use it plain by itself. Okay. I will take it. I don't need you to tell me that. So let's go. We need to add a new file for footers, probably. That is in prototypes, pages. I'm going to add a footers s. I don't need props for a page. GitHub Copilot to be completing people's login info. Yeah. There's been a lot of suspicious things with GitHub Copilot. I gave them a lot of benefit of the doubt for a long time. Like we were using it on that channel with VS Code, and like it's good, but it is questionable how good that really is. And it really feels to me it's the same thing as the art stuff. Like GitHub Copilot isn't really good AI. It's just taking patterns that it finds from somebody else. It's sort of like going and doing a search into any kind of like snippet library, and then just saying, hey, this one looks familiar to what you've been using so far. Let's just paste that in and be done with it. Let's see. I want a function component. This is going to be footers. Okay, we're going to have HTML. And then inside of here, we're we're gonna want a title. So we know we want that. So we're gonna have a VB title. We're gonna want the title level. Title level 1. We want an align. Align text. Oh, come on, stop. I'm in insert mode. How did I go all the way over there? Come on. Oh, there it is. Align text, center. Don't think there's anything else. So then this is gonna be footers. And close it off. Okay. So there's you. We need. What are you upset about? No field title level. Really? Oh, is it just level? It might be just level. Yeah, it's just level. Okay. One crazy detail you found about ChatGPT: if you ask it to scrape a website, it will tell you it's illegal. But if you ask it to build an example, it'll build you one with the right IDs. Yeah. From my understanding, I actually haven't gotten access to ChatGPT. I was too late to try to sign up for it, and now I'm on the waiting list. But from my understanding, they hand coded some responses if they think that it's illegal, and they're sort of looking into those responses and then like frantically adding those in as people are using them. And that's one of the reasons why it's in beta right now, is because they're trying to find all those things and then sort of like say, no, we can't do that. Which does make me wonder, is Chat GPT going to become just not really all that good after they go through all the different use cases and say, yeah, no, that's gonna get us sued. So it'll be interesting. Okay, so I have this title. This is gonna be fine to start with. We need to go to routes next. We got a router. Okay, so we're gonna have @/footers. Do route footers. Okay, so footers. I keep on forgetting to run the formatter on it, so I think I want to go in and like set it so it runs the formatter when I save it too. Okay, so we have you, and then we want to go to home and add a card for this. So we have new title. This will be, might as well change you to, you can be, okay, stop it. Heroes, and you're our footers. Routes, footers. Okay. I wonder how it'll affect content creation. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I would say it's gonna be similar to probably like what we saw in digital to like not digital. Like in person. Like you saw for a long time people using digital to sort of like combine together like in person ones, so you couldn't tell for a while, and then everybody got really upset. We're gonna do that until eventually it just becomes normal. And it's like, oh yeah, you're using AI to like help you build this thing. We don't care. It's like everybody does that. There'll be a period where there's a huge backlash before that though, and who knows? It might even kill this attempt, and then the next attempt will work. We see that all the time. Like look at Google Glass. Do any of you remember Google Glass and like what happened there? Yeah. So for I sort of find it hilarious that one of the big reasons that people didn't want Google Glass was because, well, what if people start recording me? What if people are like having their cameras on all the time for everything? It's like, well, we've got that anyways. And it didn't take too long. Didn't take too long. So now if Google Glass came out now, it would be super popular. So funny way that works. Bolfer said hello. Okay, so we have the footers section now. We can go ahead and try to create that footer. And I think we called it a site footer. So we want to go into footers, and we'll do a bb site footer. You're not helping me. Why are you not helping me? Create URL modules, site footer, bb site footer. Only one root. Oh, right, because of that. Okay, so we need. I wonder if I could put you like Oh, let's put a like a section, like a bb bb container. Oh, you're upset. Fine. Foundations container. There. Okay, now I bet I could do it. So I've already added it in here. So bb site footer. We save you. You're happy, which means we can come here and hey, take a look at that. We have our footers. So I have my mark. We have copyright. This should have the current year, shouldn't it? It should have like the current year. But then it has links to all of my things. Let's see. That's correct. That's correct. Who knows? That is my link to YouTube. Nice. Hilarious how quick society adapts to things that they don't want. It doesn't take too much. It doesn't take too much time. Making an LLC. I already have an LLC. So but yes. So I'm using this is gonna be like just part of it, yes. So I named it Brooks Builds. Um a work with us link. Oh well, I'm not hiring, so I can't do that. I'm not hiring. It's just me. It's just me. I do want a copyright year though, because I think it's also. Oh, actually, we didn't do a copyright for the year here. I think you're supposed to have a year, right? Or for a consultation thing. Oh, interesting. I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want this to be focused on that. Because my thoughts is this is the LMS, so learning management system for people learning. So I don't know if I want like a work with us section as part of this. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I need the current year. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so let's do the copyright, the current year. I think we can automatically get the current year with a date time library. What date time library do I want to use? Obviously, we could just try to get it from date, but I don't know. You thought of an app idea you want to try to develop, but realize you're a systems developer working with C and not an app developer. Um, so app development, the biggest difference that I've noticed uh, is you have to think that the order that things happen is out of your control because they're all going to be done by the user. And in that way, it's a little bit closer to game development than it is to like systems development. So think of it in that way. It's like you're making something that somebody else does an action and then you do a response to. Um, and that might help a little bit in like sort of thinking about the pathways and the data and how everything sort of flows back and forth. And that's what helped me a lot when I was moving from systems administration and I was doing like programs where it's like, hey, just do this thing on like 1,000 computers and do it right. And now it's like, well, somebody clicks this thing and I want 10 things to happen. It's like, oh, how do I do that? And it turns out that it's just a different way of thinking that really helps do it. Okay, so we want crates. What do I want for? I don't think I have any bookmarks for time libraries, do I? No, I don't. Always remember, every user is brain dead. That's like, oh, hello stacking. It's fun to joke about. There's actually some there's a good design book which I started reading but again haven't finished because that's my pattern. Called Don't Make Me Think, which is a design book um for sort of like aimed a little bit more at developers, I would say. And it's really good. I want to finish it. But it's mostly about how you can design things to like look why you need to design things in certain ways. Uh, so you don't like because if you start having to think, the user of the site will just stop using the site properly, and it will not work the way you expect it to as the developer creator of the site. Okay, so I want a time library. There's oh, what was it called? It was Chrono. There's Chrono. I saw the Chrono Wazi down there. I wonder if can I use this in the front end? I don't really care. I just need the current year. This is like maybe a little bit too much. If I just need the year, if I just need the year, perhaps what I want to do, I want to do the equivalent of this, right? There it is. I want a new, so I want to get like const now equals new date. Make this bigger. So I want to get that. I want to do now dot get year. Get full year get full year, which gives me that year. That's what I want. This is all I want. I want to instantiate a new date and then run get full year on that. Rust really wants to be everywhere, but crates.io sucks at showing features and the supported systems. It does, doesn't it? Oh, there's the lib. There's the lib.rs. I keep on forgetting about that one. We used it a lot for a while. Let's take a look at Chrono, see if it has. There's wasmbind. which gives me WASM32, not Inscriptum or WASI. I'm not sure. WASM, okay, WASM bindgen. We're using WASM bindgen, I think. This might work. This is really a large library though. It's gonna add a megabyte. Um, I don't think it's worth that to like put the footer on. It adds a megabyte of space. That's terrible. You found about a certain book that you're thinking of buying, the visual display of quantitative information, just a book that covers how to make good looking diagrams and showcase information the best that you can. Thinking of getting it for your lab reports in math or NCS. I mean, that sounds really good. Showing off information and data in ways that like actually gets your point across is surprisingly difficult. Uh, I eventually, so I don't know about like classwork type stuff where you're told do this thing. For me, it's more of I want to know this information. What graphs like will show me what I want, and if I think about it in that way before I have the data or before I start collecting the data, it can help me a lot. But in your case, it sounds like the opposite way. Someone with a physics PhD recommended it. Apparently, it really helped them with their dissertation. Nice. Yeah, I would. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be good. If you recommendations from in real life people are like gold compared to anything else. Okay, so we could do this. So what the problem that I'm running into here is that uh, WebAssembly does not yet have tree shaking. So there's if I pull this in, I'm pulling it in. I'm getting the full thing. Now perhaps the compiler will like only bring in a tiny piece of it, and then it will be not quite so bad. We can take a look at that and sort of see. So right now, what's this page? Let's take a look at just this page right here. So we're just having the footer and all that stuff. Well, I guess it's not the page; it's the entire thing because it's a single page application. Our network is showing. I want the WebAssembly. The WASM here is 5.32 megabytes. Now, this is not compiled for release mode. It should drop down to like a couple megabytes at most once I put into release mode. But it's as you can see, it's not great. Let's find out. Let's put it into release mode. Let's come over here. You will do a trunk serve release. Yeah, it's got to recompile everything. Matthew Tyler Raylard. Hello. Sorry I butchered your name. But thank you. How are you doing today? Okay, so you've compiled, you're ready to go. Let's refresh on you. And now we were at like 5 point something megabytes. Where's our WebAssembly? Yeah, now we're at less than 1 megabyte. So we might be good. If the compiler removes all the features that I don't want, then this number won't get that much bigger when I use it. So let's check that out. So let's go back to normal mode. And I want, okay, so I need to go to the site footer. So we have this copy right there. I need to get the current date. So we're going to bring in Chrono and we're going to add in the, I guess, the WASM bind feature. So Chrono WASM bind. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so we're going to do a cargo add chrono feature wasn't bind. I've been playing with some open API stuff. It's super easy to burn through all your credits. Looking forward to following some more of the Axum and Yew tutorials. Nice, nice, nice. And you're building some apps. That's great. Hopefully they're helpful. And hopefully you're able to build stuff. A lot of like courses aren't really worth anything unless you can actually build something to sort of cement it in the brain. So I'm hoping there. Why are you waiting? Why are you hanging? My okay, I'm not dropping frames or anything. I'm not like losing internet. I guess crates is having a little bit of trouble. Come on. Come on, crates. You can do it. So my other choice, and the one that would take absolutely zero space up to implement, would be to just call create a new date directly, and then call the function um, get full year on it, and that would actually get me the year, and that would be the it's actually this is going to be the easiest to do. The other one would be the probably best to do, probably, because like just adding a full library just to get the current year is a bit much. Well, since this is taking so long, let's start looking into the correct way to do it, and if we beat it, then there's that. Okay, so we need to do the was and bind thing, which I always forget how to do. So we're gonna go look that up. I just look it up from the Yew documentation because they have a good one. So we want was and bind gen. We want this. We're gonna have this was and bind gen with the extern C. So if I just copy you, we'll put this right here. Okay, and then inside of this, we can now say like, hey, I want this like I want console.log. So this is I want log from console. So I want date. So I want function date, which takes in nothing and returns. Now, can I get the full date from without doing the now function? So can I do something like date dot there's not much. I can do get date dot now. I'm gonna do date dot now dot no. So date dot now is gonna give me just the numbers. So these are milliseconds since the epoch, I think. I think it's too many for seconds. I think that's milliseconds. But it looks like I would need to use a new date. How do you do new date? Wasm find gen new date. Ooh, you're right. Was you already does pull in JSys. We could just use JS. Oh, JSys is probably the best one to do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. JSys. We're gonna use that instead of wasm bind gen to manually do this. So let's do that. So at the beginning in our component, we want to let date guess like let now equals. Do I have access to JSS? You're not trying to pull it in. Is that really a thing anymore? Do they still re-export it? Where's their list of re-exported things? Or do I have to go back to live.rs for that? Want re-exported items. There's WebSys like that. No. That just sends me to WebSys. I always forget where the re-exports are listed. Because I know they've been changing it. Re-exports. Pub use self prelude star. Okay, so they re-export prelude? Okay, here it is. Callback, context provider, create portal, HTML results, events, functions. Wait. That's it? So they're no longer okay. So you does pull in JSS, but I cannot use it from you because they don't re-export it. So I have to pull in JSS myself, and I don't think I'm. I do not have JSS in here, so. Nope, I wanted that one. Oh, okay. Chrono added finally. So I guess we'll do this one to begin with. We want to go to the site footer. Okay, so we want to use Chrono to get the current year. Go to Chrono's documentation. Okay, so I don't care about date. Okay, date time. Chrono provides a date time type to represent a date and time in a time zone. Local specifies the system local time zone. You can get the current date and time with UTC now or local now. I don't know if either of them matter. I want the current date, right? Okay, so I can get datetime dot year equals to that. Datetime is fixed offset. Okay, so maybe I can just do this as local. Okay, so I can do local now maybe to get the date time. So we do that date time equals, is it, it's, let's just use UTC. UTC, oh, you didn't find it. Use Chrono. Trying to quit and see if maybe it will like find it better if Chrono There we go. Now you found it. Okay, it took Rust Analyzer a couple seconds to figure this out. So I want UTC. So now it probably would have worked. I was too impatient. Okay, so I want let essentially now equals UTC now. That gives me that. Then I want to get the current year equals now dot year. I think that's what I want, right? Forget what the oh, it's like. I forgot what the keyboard command is. Oh, okay, it's a K, Shift K. So year is 932. Okay, so that seems like it would be correct. So then I want to do this as a format here. So then we're gonna have copyright. Now we want, and then this will have year in it. And right at the end, throw you in. Okay, you're upset because I forgot. Nope, stop. I forgot to put a semicolon. I also, wait, no. Don't do that. Well, that would also explain why I wasn't happy. I put it inside the HTML. That's not good. Okay, so you come down here. So now we have the copyright 2023. Excellent. Okay, so next up, let us check. Oh, right. We want to check the sizes. So it was 5 or 6 megabytes in size. Now it is okay, 5.38. So it actually okay. So I think it's doing an appropriate job. The compiler I think is only pulling in exactly what it needs to. So I'm not really getting that much. And it's quite possible that because it's WebAssembly, that it's using date behind the scenes, which means that there's really not much like extra at all. So I'm happy about that. I'm willing to keep on using this because it's almost no extra space here. Let's double check. Let's double check the release size. Okay. Your release size is 964.85 kilobytes. And I believe this is not zipped. I wonder it accepts zip, so I bet it could configure a server to gzip it, and then we get even better savings. So that'd be nice. But yeah, so less than 1 megabyte still. It basically added nothing. So I'm happy about that. It would have sucked to add a megabyte just for the 2023 or the year. But now it's going to be the current year every single time, and I'm not going to have to worry about that. All right. Ooh, I was initially gonna say like, is anybody else bothered by the top of the Twitch logo being above these other logos? But then I realized I think the bottom of the Twitch logo is also below these ones. So I think I have them centered here or vertically. Should I drop the Twitch logo down a little bit? Which I'd be happy to do, but I'm worried that might make the bottom. I don't know if we care about the bottom. No, we're not in that other thing anymore. I want to go to icon. So I have some overrides in here for CSS. So like, for example, the Twitch icon is just part of everything else. I'm going to want to add in to here. Okay, so then you'll be a style new. Okay, what do I care about here? I want to probably have the background color inherit. Oh, why are you not? What? Oh, the hash at the end. That's what I forgot. Okay, and then we have border. Probably want the border none. But then what I specifically want is to like have a little bit of a margin top. Oh no, I think it's not margin. I want to move everything else above it top. I want to push it down, so I want to have a padding top, I believe. A padding top of I don't I think I'm just gonna want this as like actually just pixels and shift it down by like 5 pixels. So if I do that, I don't think that did anything. Let's see if we can find it. Well, we have an error. That's why it didn't compile, because whenever you have an error, it still serves it, but it doesn't actually like compile, obviously. So match arms have incompatible types expected in enum style. I found an enum result because I forgot the unwrap after the new style, so I want this one. That will work. I want to say that shifted down a tiny bit, but I may be just not right about it. Okay, so here's the background color inherit, border color, current color, padding top. Okay, so you. Oh, look at that. It's like shifting everything down, but it also shifts it down a little bit. But it looks like I want to be about like that. That'd be 11 pixels to bring it down to the correct amount. If I were to do that, I would want this to have the same amount. So that makes me wonder if I put, okay, let's take you off. If I give a margin to both of you, so let's do margin. So I want, it starts at top. So I want maybe like 1 rem followed by 0 on the left and right. Maybe I could do a margin and that would then fold into the middle of it. Fold into the middle of it? What am I saying? Here's that padding top. Yeah, that moves it down a little bit. What if I do a margin top? And we do 11 pixels. Oh, that does the same thing. It doesn't collapse. It did not collapse the way I was sort of expecting it to. Hmm. That's too bad. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with CSS, normally if you have a margin, oh, you know what? I bet it's the margin here, because it's the okay, because these are inside of a single block like that. This div here, I have a margin top that doesn't do anything. Right. I want I would want to set the others to have a margin top 0 maybe. So if I did that for a margin top, go to you and I say you have a, I think both of you in here. We have a margin, come on, margin top of 0. No, that did not pull it back up again. Can I move you into one of these other ones? Let's try this one. Margin top 0. No, that doesn't do anything. And then you have, yeah, it still like pulls everything up again. So I have a padding top of it or a margin top. Either way, it does the exact same thing. Uh, I want this div. I wonder if I want to put it on the A tag and not the image. So we don't put you on anything. We go to the A tag and we say, hey, you have a margin top of 8 pixels. Oh, because you don't have any size. So this won't do anything. Like I can make that as big as I want. It doesn't affect anything at all. It is something that I can make it so now I can click higher on it, I believe. Oh no, it doesn't. It would be margin if I did that. Sorry, padding. Now I can click a little bit higher. So I can extend the click part of it. But that's not what I want to do. I want, okay, so you don't do anything for me. I want you to shift down a little bit. I could do a, because you're a parent of this one. What if we do a position relative and we do a top like 8 pixels? You're unhappy. Position relative. Okay, there we go. I think we're getting somewhere now. Now we can move you without moving everything else. So now you're a 4 pixel. Okay. So back to you. I want you to have no padding top. We're going to do a position relative and a top 4 pixels. For the A tag, we need to make you position relative. Which is not here. Is not here. Okay. We want, where is that? That's probably site footer. Here's the A tags. Oh, nice. I could just do it just to this one. So I want to convert you from a function component to a style component. What is it? It's styled component. Styled component like that. Okay, there we go. Then we're gonna do I might as well do it inline because it's only to this one. I don't want it to accidentally be somewhere else. So we have this A here. Let's do this as a multi-line. Okay, so we're gonna have class equals style new. We have CSS. Okay, so I think you're happy there, kind of. I can put you on a new line. Just looks better. Okay, then inside of here, the only thing we're caring about for this is we want, what do I want this to do? I want this to do, oh yeah, position relative, like that. Save view. There we go. Now it's the right size here. Oh right, I wanted to put in a margin on that. So that was call format. Okay, classes, text center. Ooh. So classes, I think that's actual classes, which means I can do this as, nope, not open, close. Classes. And here we'll do another style new CSS. I think actually I don't need to use the R sharp. If I'm using one line, I don't need the R sharp thing. Then this is going to be a margin 1 rem 0 like that. You're unhappy because I forgot to do the unwrap. What? Did I duplicate that? Okay. What did I do? Unwrap. Okay. There we go. Now you're happy. All right, there we go. So we have our mark, we have this, and then we have a little bit of space, and then the Twitch logo is at the same sort of height. It extends down a little bit below that, but I don't think we care that much about this. When I look at this, it doesn't really bother me nearly as much. Okay, so that means footers is done, right? Yeah, we have our mark. You want a little bit of space up and below that too. I could maybe put a tiny bit. So that'd be this container. I do the same thing. So if we're starting to do that, I might want to, because we have these classes everywhere now. And this is fine. But I also have this like style new. Do I actually need the CSS? I don't remember if I need the CSS. I might be able to just get away with this. And then it's a lot easier. But if I just do margin, I want top, let's do like one rem again. Dot. That's what I'm doing. I'm actually doing a search. Oh, I'm doing a dot before I do insert. That's what it is. Unwrap. Fun string. Oh, say, so you do need to be CSS. So we do need that. Wait. Add that in there. Okay. No, you're still unhappy. Failed to parse. Margin. Okay. Oh, it's not margin, it's padding. That gives a little bit of space up and below it. So if I do any kind of background image to this or background sort of shading to it, we now see that exists there. So that makes me happy. Now we're good to go and mark this as done, which means that the first, oh no, we're not done with the full page yet. We have this little thing down here, which is the footer nav. So that needs to be added to the site footer as some kind of like bottom nav thing. So I don't know if we have that, but we'll have to deal with that tomorrow. So let's save, exit out of Yew. We did add a new thing here, which is that footers. Okay, so what did we do? We updated site footer and implemented main part in prototypes. And I'll go ahead and push that up. All right, everybody. With that, it's time for me to head off to my day job and do my work. But I will be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time to do another hour or so of this. So anyways, I hope that you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.